B&B 2020. Are you ready?
We will guide you through the leading qualifiers in just a few moments' time as the riders line up. So let's have a look at Superminis Race 1. How they line up was Dane Blackburn, the fastest qualifier, Joe Dickinson second, Richard Holmes-Williams in third, Lawrence Wardle qualifying in fourth place from Stephen Brooks and Tom Lewis. Seventh position was Dom Herbertson, Jordan Pritchard eighth, Luke Bithell in ninth. And rounding up the field was the 23 of Rhys Stevenson. No time, so we'll start 10th and at the back of the grid. Races today, and for the first time this afternoon, the Superminis are about to get underway. And here we go. You see the blue smoke of the two-stroke premix in the air as number 48, Joe Dickinson, leads them through. Oh, a little bit squirrely there for Jordan Pritchard. 151, stood the bike up on the first corner, but gets away okay. Everyone through safely. Joe Dickinson on the 85cc Husqvarna leading the way. There's the 114 in second of Dane Blackburn. Those two breaking away slightly, the first of the four strokes. Richard Holmes-Williams on the 126, currently in third place. Looks like Lawrence Wardle and Tom Lewis in there. Jordan Pritchard, Stephen Brooks, Dom Herbertson and Luke Bithell rounding up the field as they make their way in towards the final corner. Very close first lap, and Dickinson leads, Blackburn second, Holmes-Williams in third, Lawrence Wardle 414. There we see the number 30 of Tom Lewis just behind, with Stephen Brooks, Jordan Pritchard, Dom Herbertson and Luke Bithell running up the field, but Dickinson 48 up into the top corner. Down the back straight, so Dickinson leads, Blackburn just a little bit further behind. It was 0.3 of a second. Second place. Oh, trouble here, though. That may well be the 126 of Richard Holmes-Williams. Saves the engine, though, and keeps the bike running, although, of course, he drops to the back of the field out of third place. So that means that the 414 of Lawrence Wardle now up into third. Just looking to see where Richard Holmes-Williams is. He's at the back of the field now, down in ninth place. Just having a look at that bike as he goes through. He's picked up no damage, so the race goes on for him, but he's got a bit of work to do. As we see the number 30 of Tom Lewis battling with Lawrence Wardle. And the 40 of Stephen Brooks just behind him. So KTM 85, the orange machine there, number 30. Looks like the Husqvarna, I think, of Stephen Brooks. Very similar bikes, I have to say here. The KTMs and the Husqvarnas, they both fall under the KTM group. Very similar engine and chassis, not too much between them. And as you say, in the rulebook, anything up to 112cc two-strokes allowed in this one, along with the 154 strokes. As the 48 of Joe Dickinson still leading the way. Here we see battle of the four strokes. Got one of the pit bikes in there as well. There's the 151 of Jordan Pritchard, Dom Herbertson, number 11, just behind in seventh place. Luke Bithell watching in eighth. You see the 117. And back to the number 30 of Tom Lewis, currently in fifth place as the rest of the Supermini field make their way through. Oh, great little move there down the inside from the number 11 of Dom Herbertson, getting past Jordan Pritchard. Nice move there on the final corner. Luke Bithell and Richard Holmes-Williams running up the field, and Holmes-Williams, after that spill early in the race, is starting to close up on these riders. Only 9 riders in this race, so a mistake is very costly indeed, but certainly Richard Holmes-Williams is starting to close up. There we see Bithell, number 117, and just seeing if Holmes-Williams comes into the shot. There he is. We just saw him just creeping into the shot just behind Luke Bithell. So this battle at the back of the field, very close indeed. Still Joe Dickinson that leads the way from Dane Blackburn. Lawrence Wardle in third. The top three pulling away now from the rest of the field as the 40 of Stephen Brooks goes through from Tom Lewis, Dom Herbertson. And there's the 11, Herbertson in sixth place. Jordan Pritchard setting his fastest lap of the race, the 1:51 in seventh position. But here we see 1:14. Dane Blackburn currently in second position, 2.1 seconds down on Joe Dickinson, the race leader, just going around the final corner. Dickinson goes through, 6 laps remaining. You can hear the two-strokes screaming away in the background. The blue smoke of the premix fuel in the air as they go up towards the top corner. Dane Blackburn still in second place, Lawrence Wardle in third, Stephen Brooks still in fourth. Tom Lewis, Dom Herbertson and Jordan Pritchard in seventh. And Richard Holmes-Williams has moved up a position after that spill, gets up now to 8th position from Luke Bithell. Here's your race leader though, number 48, Joe Dickinson, down the back straight, maintaining that 2-second gap from Dane Blackburn in second as they go round the final corner. Over the line, Dickinson leads through the chicane, Blackburn second. That two-stroke screaming down in towards the next hairpin. As now I think that may well be Richard Holmes-Williams. Yes, indeed it is, and I think he may well. We'll just check out the window. Yep, he's got past Pritchard. Yep, Jordan Pritchard drops to 8th, so Richard Holmes-Williams up to 7th now, dropping the bike early on. Looks like he's closing up actually on the number 11 of Dom Herbertson. Oh, yellow flags at the top of the field, top of the track here. Somebody went down. Still number 30 though, the machine of Tom Lewis just ahead of Dom Herbertson. So there's some trouble up at the top of the track. Doesn't seem to be anything serious at the moment though, as Dickinson still leads the way. Just looking at the lap chart here, Lawrence Wardle up to second place. Now, Dane Blackburn's gone through in third, so we saw the wave yellows there, just out of shot. I wonder if Dane Blackburn possibly made a mistake, lost a lot of time, and Lawrence Wardle now to second place. Meanwhile, oh, look at this from Richard Holmes-Williams down, trying to get down the inside of Herbertson. Yellow flags up here, so he'll have to hold position temporarily. And now the track's clear. Richard Holmes-Williams down the inside of Herbertson. He's got the number 30 of Tom Lewis just ahead, down towards the final corner. And Richard Holmes-Williams, after that mistake, really has recovered well. But Lewis shuts the door on him. So Lewis in 5th, Holmes-Williams in 6th, Herbertson 7th, Pritchard and Bithell running up the field still. Now there has been some drama further up the field though, because Lawrence Wardle showing as the race leader. We had those yellow flags up at the very top of the circuit, and I think something happened to the previous race leader, Joe Dickinson. There he is, Dickinson now back on track. Something happened out of camera shot there, because it's all changed at the front. Let's have a look as they come through. That looks like the machine of Lawrence Wardle that leads. 2 laps to go. Lawrence Wardle leads by 1.7 seconds from Joe Dickinson. Dane Blackburn in third, 2.1 seconds down. And with 2 laps to go, this race is wide open. Lawrence Wardle leads the way, but now Dickinson and Blackburn charging away, trying to close up on the race leader. They go down the back straight. There is Wardle. Dickinson is closing up in second place. 1.5 laps to go in Superminis, race number 1. And Joe Dickinson, the early leader, has a look over the shoulder. They are closing up on Lawrence Wardle. Catching up, though, is one thing. Getting past can be another. 1 lap to go. Any one of these 3 riders could win the race as Joe Dickinson tries down the inside. Oh, great move into the chicane there from Joe Dickinson and takes the lead. 1 lap to go, and your new race leader is Joe Dickinson. Lawrence Wardle drops to second place, and Dane Blackburn still there in third. But a great move there from Joe Dickinson into that really tight chicane. Difficult to pass there sometimes. Wardle is in a no-nonsense mood here, though, in second place. Shuts the door on Dane Blackburn. Joe Dickinson, meanwhile, is away down the back straight for the final time, into the final corner. Wardle guards the inside line as the 48 of Joe Dickinson crosses the line with a wheelie. Oh, and it's a drag race to the finish there, but Lawrence Wardle, by just 0.006 of a second almost, I think there, taking the second place. It's going to be Stephen Brooks in fourth. Richard Holmes-Williams recovers to fifth place. Dom Herbertson, Tom Lewis, Jordan Pritchard in eighth place, and Luke Bittle rounding up the field. Something happened at the top of the track here, though. Superminis, spectacular fast racing class with the 150 4-strokes and the 85 2-strokes. Just a reminder of how things turned out this morning. Dane Blackburn, the fastest qualifier from Joe Dickinson. Richard Holmes-Williams in third. Lawrence Wardle fourth. Stephen Brooks and Tom Lewis in sixth place. Seventh was Dom Herbertson. Jordan Pritchard eighth. Luke Bittle in ninth. Rhys Stevenson starts at the back with no time in qualifying. I'm Chris Sora, and it is worth saying, of course, it's such a nothing really, there's no real breather time in there, so that's going to get physically demanding as the race goes on, so you can't really concentrate. Here we go, the Superminis underway, and looks like Joe Dickinson gets away at the head of the field from Dane Blackburn. Richard Holmes-Williams into the top corner, and Dickinson still leads. So what I will ask here, Dervin, is so with the tyre choices, how have you found things today in terms of, it looks quite greasy out there, so I suppose you've got to get the right tyres on it.
It's actually really grippy. It's surprisingly grippy for a track. Most of the fast guys will probably run an S compound PMT, which is a quite hard tyre, and the variance is an SS, which is slightly softer, a bit more grippier. But in this heat, most of the bigger rides will probably run an S compound, harder.
And has that been with the? It does seem very hot on the track today, but you're saying it is grippier than it looks.
Yeah, it is really grippy. You as long as you're committed to the corners, there's plenty of grip out there. That's why these guys here, they're going twice the pace I was going around this track at, and you can see that they're not having moments. They're very controlled. They're in control of their bikes, and the tyres are sticking.
Does seem very quick out there as Joe Dickinson and Dane Blackburn, the two Husqvarnas, leading the way, very, very close indeed. As the scream of the two-strokes into this part where Dervin was saying this is about the only rest part on the track, this relatively long straight. The rest of the track is very tight, well not tight, but very twisty. And there's Richard Holmes-Williams, the first of the Honda four-strokes in third place. And Holmes-Williams, if you remember earlier on today, took a tumble in this race and had to fight his way through. So he's had a good ride today, and again just trying to get involved in this battle. And this, I would say, Dervin, this is the part, these two trying to battle for position. So Holmes-Williams, he wanted to try and get involved in this one.
Yeah, I mean the two at the front, Data Dane as we call him in the paddock, and Joe Dickinson, they're really are a class of their own. And I know that Data Dane trying his best to keep on his back wheel and try and keep him in. It's quite hard to pass on this track. You have to maybe line it up a couple of corners before, get a good run on someone, and be really brave into one of the big braking areas in the big hairpins.
We've noticed that earlier on today. I think you're quite right there, Dervin, is when there's a passing move taking place, it's almost something you've got to plan almost like laps in advance and kind of see where the faster rider might be a bit slower somewhere on the track.
Yeah, especially at the front with these guys, they're so evenly matched. He'll be on his back wheel now, looking for where he can basically make that move. But as you can see, they're always turning, they're always on and off power. And as you can see, Dickinson's pulled away a bit now, so. Yeah, Dane's going to have to try and rein back in. That's the hard part, trying to keep on the back of someone through the tight stuff.
Joe Dickinson trying to break away at the front. There's the lap times, 40.454, half a second quicker than Dane Blackburn. Richard Holmes-Williams still there in third. Lawrence Wardle just going through in fourth place. Stephen Brooks moves past Tom Lewis, Dom Herbertson and Jordan Pritchard running up the field. Real mixture of the 85 up to 112cc permitted on the two-strokes. Oh, it's a bit tight in that top corner.
I saw out the window that Dane's had a huge moment coming out of the bottom hairpin. Nearly threw him off his bike, so he's lost a lot of time now. So Richard Holmes-Williams will be right on his back wheel, I thought.
Yes, he is. We're just looking up towards as we look momentarily at the 30 of Tom Lewis. And Dervin's quite right there. Dane Blackburn losing a lot of time. Holmes-Williams is right on him now. We may well pick it up in a few moments. Through the first chicane they go as this battle towards the back of the field here. Number 30, Tom Lewis, Dom Herbertson. There's Jordan Pritchard just a bit further behind. But Richard Holmes-Williams on the 1-2-6 really closing up after that mistake from Dane Blackburn. Again, we just look at Tom Lewis trying to get past Stephen Brooks. Still number 48, Joe Dickinson, pulling away, and here we are. So, and Holmes Williams has a look down the inside of Blackburn. Had one or two people, Dane, just poking a wheel in there on those little S's corners, and it's difficult to make it stick.
Some people are naturally fast through corners, and some people can pull away from you down the straight. So those that are carrying corner speed are running up under somebody, and it's causing quite a few near misses at the moment. I must admit, I caused a crash in my last race because my throttle got stuck on round that exact corner, and somebody had to run off, and he hit the tyre wall, unfortunately. So if someone isn't carrying corner speed, it is very, very quickly a problem.
And possibly, of course, the CRF 150 that Holmes Williams is riding there, it'll track very well through the corners, that smooth 4-stroke power band.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed as well, Dane, is one or two of the corners here, these long hairpins, riders perhaps almost looks like they're understeering, drifting wide and just trying to square the turn off, it almost seems, to try and get the exit to the corner.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of different approaches here. Some will run it in deep and try and cut it back, and some will, like some in the 140 class, for example, will take it a lot tighter and be able to hold a more of a stable line. But you know, that's what makes this racing great, because there's so many different styles. You can see, you know, when you're chasing someone as well, you're trying to look to see where you can then drive past them or drive under them to really like keep on their back wheel, like you're seeing on the screen now. Look.
Again, there we see Richard Holmes Williams looks quick through that Less's section there, the right, left, right into the hairpin, but Blackburn are doing enough at the moment to hold on to that position. Holmes Williams, that CRF 150 is tracking nicely out of the corners and really putting Blackburn under some pressure. Dane Blackburn was battling for the lead early in this race, but a mistake has let Joe Dickinson go. Blackburn now, all he can do is deal with Holmes Williams in third. It's Wardle in fourth on the 414. Stephen Brooks from Dom Herbertson, who's gone past Tom Lewis. And Jordan Pritchard just going through, rounding up the field. As again, let's see what Holmes Williams can do. Again, he looks quick through the corners.
Definitely quicker through there. Just try and get a nice run on down the straight. Seems just to lose it coming out, look, and Dane's pulled him down the straight. And
you'd almost wonder perhaps if it's better maybe to hang back into that and just get the power, just take it flat out and be quicker on the exit maybe.
Yeah, I think if you can try, I mean, I did a couple of passes coming out of that corner, and that's where a lot of the fast guys will line you up, and they will literally drive past you on the exit because you're full throttle on the way out on the right-hander.
Especially important, of course, on such a fast circuit. There's not much difference in speed here, because they all are very quick. It's even watching it looks fast. Here we go then, let's see what Holmes Williams can do. This is the part where he does appear to be quicker, and he's a bit further behind this time, so this might work to his advantage. Let's have a look as he goes down the back straight. Oh, not quite close enough, but he did seem to close up again through those corners. Oh, as Blackburn ran wide there, did it appear, or was it just the line choice?
I think he takes that line. I think he takes a bit. I think he drives it in and then cuts it back. Whereas Richard Williams is taking a more smoother line around there. It's quite an interesting one when they come around the back of the circuit. You go down that dip of the hill. Really, really strange. First time I've ridden here, it kind of unseats you a little bit, and then you're throwing it straight into a right-hander, which is where they're just coming now.
This is it here. It's interesting.
Down this little hill here.
That doesn't look too much on the cameras, but yeah. I bet on the bike that's quite an obstacle there.
It is, but the guys that are confident on there will then throw it into that right-hander really fast, whereas some people, it unsettles the bike as they go in.
Looking at the lap times here, these two really are pushing each other on at the moment. At the moment, there's 1 lap to go. I think Dickinson, barring disasters, got this one under control, but they are closing up slightly. A bit of a change of lines here with the 2 strokes and the 4 strokes, of course, with that peaky power band on the 85cc 2-stroke. You know, with the 2 strokes, like you just wrap the power on, it's in there, isn't it?
They do. They take a lot of control in those. I found out to my peril once, but yeah, these guys can really ride a bike. You know, they're doing 40-second laps at the minute, which is amazing.
Well, that's quick around here. And this 85cc, well, sold as an 85, they can run up to 115. Not too sure what that engine that one's running at the moment, but Joe Dickinson, whatever it is running it very well round the final corner. He's got this one under control, and 48 Joe Dickinson with a wheelie takes the checkered flag. Looks like it's going to be Dane Blackburn second, just from Richard Holmes. Oh, trouble here. That's Brooks, isn't it? Stephen Brooks has gone off.
Yeah, young lad, really good rider though. He looks like he's come off.
That's up at the top somewhere, by the looks of things, is it? Or must be at the top hairpin, I think. Actually, we can just see him out of the window, I think, at the very top. So hopefully he'll be all right.
Yeah, he's only young though. We met him with, doing some practice day at Wilton Mill. Really young lad when you see him, and he's riding super fast with some of the best riders that we've got. So definitely a talent for the future.
Seems like he's okay, so that's always a good sign. He will finish last in this race, which is the only thing damages his pride with the looks of things. That piece is just the side panel off. Those Husqvarnas have quite a big side panel on the bike, so that's nothing too. They'll get that reattached easy enough. It's nothing too serious. So bike and riders are okay.
Let's see if Dane's a gentleman and lets him ride his bike back.
There he is. So the Supermini is drawing to a close. Exciting race action as the unfortunate Stephen Brooks. He's over.